Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. Most of us are controlled by circumstances. I have a job, a family, expectations. You have no time. So I think the first step is a person has to step back and say, why am I here? Every morning we say Moda'ani. Moda'ani basically means thank you for returning my soul to me, which also means, why is your soul here? These questions should be asked when you're young, when you're a child, when you're in school, your formative years. But wherever you are in life, you have to stop and ask yourself, why am I here? What's my relationship with God? How do I use my skills and my unique strengths and my unique tools and talents to brighten this world and make it what we would call a home for the divine in your corner of the world?
Today's episode is sponsored by Boris M Tax Planning and Advisory. Schedule your free tax strategy session online and get started now. Call us at 212-430-6881 to learn more.
Baruchim Abim, and welcome to Torah Talks Chazaq's program with special guests. We have with us all the way from Crown Heights, Rabbi Simon Jacobson. Baruch haba, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us, Rabbi. We're going to be speaking about meaningful life. But before we do that, we'll get a background about the Rabbi and the great work you're involved with.
Firstly, thank you for having me.
Of course.
And I wish you and your audience a very blessed year.
Amen.
We've had many challenges this year. It should be even a better year.
Much better year.
Hashem should protect Eden everywhere, especially our Tzahal. And the hostages should be released. I just feel it should be
100%.
Especially now we're coming soon to the first anniversary of that sad day.
Wow, it's been a year. Wow.
Yeah.
October 7th.
So about myself, okay, here we are.
Yeah.
My parents are both Russian born. My grandfather was actually a Georgian Jew.
Georgians, well.
Simon Jacobson was his name. I'm his namesake.
Wow.
Simon, like Simon Tov. They came to the United States, my parents did, after World War II. I was the first of 5 children born to them. And
The Rabbi being the oldest.
yes, I'm the
And
oldest.
the youngest being our dear friend, Rabbi Y. Jacobson.
That's my youngest
Yes.
brother. And in between, we have boy, girl, boy, girl, boy.
Right.
And I grew up in Crown Heights, the Chabad community. My father, as many would know, Gershon Jacobson, was a journalist. So on one hand, I grew up with a very intense, obviously, yeshiva education. But I also grew up in a very, cosmopolitan, I would say, broad-minded, non-dogmatic home. You know, well-read. I met many types of people. So I never was, never got trapped in the ghetto type of thinking. Not to criticize anyone, just mentioning. So it created like a bridge between two worlds. In many ways, it set the stage what I do today. I'm able to bridge the Torah world and a very secular world. So over the years, I rose in the ranks. I became what was called a choser and a maniach of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, which meant on Shabbos and Yom Tov, on Sabbath and the holidays, when no notes are taken and no recordings, I would memorize
Wow.
hours
that must
of
be
his
some
talks.
serious memory.
Yeah, I have a good memory, yes.
Baruch Hashem.
And then after Shabbos, we would then document it, which was another job, which was to get it published for posterity.
Did the Rebbe give you the notes at least, or it was all?
It was all from memory.
Wow.
But I had the opportunity to write. I have extensive thousands of pages of correspondence. I asked questions, clarified points. He edited. So I had a close...
In person, or it had to be
in
done
writing.
through...
It was mostly in writing. Very professional in that sense. And then after the Rebbe had a stroke in 1992 and passed away in 1994, I went on to write Torah Meaningful Life. It was published by a major publisher, William Morrow. Today it's sold close to 1 million copies.
Oh, wow.
It's like, a book. I wrote it in a language that's a universal language for all people, but it's based on the timeless teachings of Torah. So, but it's written very like a psychological, spiritual take on life, called Torah Meaningful Life. And I literally ask people, like, what are the most important topics in your life? And everybody has the same. Birth, childhood, education, youth, marriage, love, pain, wealth. And I did a chapter on each one of them because the book has been translated by now into 14 languages.
Wow.
So in a way, that created a whole new demand. That's when I founded the Meaningful Life Center by the same name.
And that's the topic of discussion.
And essentially, like I mentioned before, I'm like a bridge We sometimes like to call it a bridge between the spiritual and the secular. Between Torah, authentic Torah, not diluted, but presented in a very personal and relevant, I like to call it emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually relevant to each individual. So I have, thank God, been relatively successful in reaching very many audiences. And I grew with the technology. So today on YouTube, I have I'm not here to toot my horn, but maybe 300,000 subscribers, serious following. And my main strength is really God blessed me with an ability to take original Torah ideas and present them in a very personal way. Like, how does it help your family life, marriage? How do you deal with depression? How do you deal with children? So it has that, and that's critical today because Torah can remain abstract and detached. You can know Chetz Yashir and Lamates Malachas, just to give an example. Different intricate details, but the relevance. What's the relevance? So to me, that's the key word, making it personally meaningful. Torah from the word Hayra, B'chaim. Torah is a directive, guidance in life, a blueprint for life.
Right. So you bring it down and bite-sized, simplified for the Amonam, for the masses, for the public.
Yeah, but also sometimes more dense and more. I also train trainers. I deal with teachers, therapists, educators, because these are tools. It's a methodology. It's how to think, how to feel, how to live.
Amazing. So our title is Meaningful Life. How does the rabbi define meaningful life? There's a definition.
Absolutely. Meaningful life is defined by one thing, mission. That God sent every human being to this earth on a particular mission. You're not here by accident. You're not here randomly. Every part of your life was sent for a purpose. That means meaning. A meaningless life means you just go day to day, and whatever comes your way. There's a nice ice cream shop. I'll stop there. This desire, this temptation. A meaningful life is a life of purpose, that you have a goal. Every company needs a mission statement. So doesn't every human being needs a mission statement? And it's understanding that you're not here by accident and your life is significant. I would say further, it's indispensable. And what you have to accomplish, no one but you can accomplish. That's as simple as I can put it.
Amazing. So what steps could one take to accomplish a meaningful life?
Well, the first step is to get out of that roller coaster of your life that takes control. What they say, life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. Most of us are controlled by circumstances. I have a job, I have family, this one has demands, expectations, and by the time you're thinking about it, by the time you have no time.
Right.
Because you're so busy responding to others. What we call a reactive life. You want to be a proactive life. So I think the first step is a person has to step back and say, why am I here? Every morning we say Moda'ani. Right. It's a simple prayer. Moda'ani basically means thank you for returning my soul to me, which also means, why is your soul here? Ask yourself that question. I find the biggest problem is that many people are already so caught up. These questions should be asked when you're young, when you're a child, when you're in school, in your formative years. But wherever you are in life, you have to stop yourself and be able to create that space and ask yourself, why am I here? What's my relationship with God? Why does He want me here? How do I use my skills and my unique strengths and my unique tools and talents to brighten this world and make it what we would call a home for the divine in your corner of the world? So that's the first thing. Is and practical steps, as we all know, it comes down to, just like if you exercise every day, you have to have spiritual exercises every day. I like to refer to a spiritual spa. SPA is an acronym: study, prayer, action.
Oh, wow.
Everyone who learns Torah knows the world stands on three pillars: Torah, Avodah, Gemilut Chasadim. So let's call it cognitive, emotional, and behavioral conditioning. Getting your mind in the right place, which means every day a little study of Torah, something fits your schedule. Get your mind out of politics, out of the nonsense of daily routines, something divine, something transcendent. And same thing emotionally. Avodah Shebelev, Eza
Tefillah.
Avodah Shebelev is prayer. Prayer is meant to be, I like to call it the emotional exercise, massaging your emotions, emotional intelligence, how to emote with Hashem, with God, with your soul, with others. And what some people call today poetry, or you can call it music, you can call it song. These are all names for prayer. Prayer is a form of song, zimra, shira.
Right. That's what Tehillim is.
Yeah, and then actions, good deeds, milat chasadim, simple acts of goodness and kindness. Every mitzvah, every good deed. And this can come down to just sharing a kind word with someone. It can be being charitable, being gracious, gratitude. I mean, the Torah has all the whole blueprint.
The rabbi
there.
brought a new meaning for the word spa.
Okay, there you go. And a spa, what does it do? It reinvigorates, it refreshes. The soul also needs to be refreshed.
Study, prayer, actions.
There you go.
Amazing. 3 things the world stands on: Torah, Avodah, Gemut, Chasadim. We have to learn, we have to pray, and we have to do good. Amazing. Very nice. Love it.
Okay, there you go.
Very inspiring. So as the rabbi mentioned, you had a very close kesher, a contact connection to the Lubavitcher Rebbe of blessed memory. And what would the Rebbe, from his teachings, what comes out with regards to meaningful life?
Well, a lot of what I learned, we all know Torah goes back to Har Sinai,
Right.
Mount Sinai, where Moshe Kibbel Torah Sinai, Moses received the Torah. But as we know, the Masorah, the teacher to student, teacher to student. For me, the Rebbe was my primary teacher, mentor, Rebbe, spiritual leader. I mean, there are many different titles. So the teachings go back all the way, but it was he that taught me.
From Rebbe to Rebbe to Rebbe.
Yeah, but everyone is
That was his father.
Ish mipi ish.
Right.
For me, it went through the Rebbe, but everyone, I'm sure you,
It goes
everyone.
all the way up to the Baal Shem Tov.
Yeah, and the Baal Shem Tov goes all the way to David HaMelech
Right.
at some point. We all go back to Adam HaChava and Gan Eden at some point.
So we're all mishpach, we're all family.
Yeah, and right, Abraham, Sarah, Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. I'm so saying it to put things into context. So the Rebbe was a fundamentally a unbelievable Torah teacher, but he taught methodology, not just facts. It's like this is teaching someone what to think and this teaching how to think. So I can credit him as being the big force in my life. He was, firstly, combined both the body of Torah and the soul of Torah, what we call neshama of Torah. So it made it very relevant and come alive. You can know the mechanics of Judaism, but you have to know the spirit of Judaism. So what he essentially taught that what I described before, meaningful life, mission in life, was what I learned from him. Now, it's not really his teachings. This is what the Torah says. That Let's start right in the beginning.
He brought it out.
In Chumash, right away. Human being was created b'tselem Elokim, in divine image, with a divine mission, la'avda l'shamra, to serve and protect. So what I learned from the Rebbe was not just the message, but the compelling sense of urgency that you have to be active. You have to take part in this. You can't be a bystander. You can't be an observant Jew observing others. You have to be someone that is proactive, that takes initiative, that takes responsibility. And it's really a mission that says, why was a person created? Lefikach nivra adam yechidi, because every person is responsible to say that b'shvili nivra olam.
For me, the world was created.
Which means not an arrogant statement, but one of responsibility. So that, if I was to able, that sense of responsibility, but also in a passionate way, not as an obligation and burden, as a gift, is essentially why the Jewish people are here, to be a light to the world, a light unto nations, and a light, of course, to their own communities. So that's overall. More specifically, the Rebbe was the Lubavitcher Rebbe was very into the relevance, making sure. Then Tanya, which is the foundation of Chabad Hasidic text, says that the whole book is based on a verse. The verse says, Karav elecha hadavar ma'od beficha bolvavcha la'asese. That this thing, Torah, mitzvahs, is relevant to you. It's accessible to you. Beficha bolvavcha la'asese, which is also like spa. You could say, thought, speech, action, or Torah, avodah, gemilas chasad. So the idea of making everything relevant and making it personal, instead of, people are going to be going to synagogue on Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. And, some people go out of obligation, some people go tradition, that's what you do. You're a frum Jew, that's what you do. Secular Jew may go because, once a year they make their deal with God, but is it personally relevant? Does it come alive? And that to me is the key thing I learned. Like we say, Torah is chayenu v'erech yameinu. Life and sustenance, not just, it's oxygen. It's necessary in your life.
It should be robotic.
I have seen, to be very blunt, if I can be a little irreverent, everyone talks about Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, we talk about Yiddishkeit, but is it really alive? Is it transformative? Or does it last for a day and then we go back to who we were? Last year, did you really change after Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur? I actually wrote a book called 60 Days. There we go.
The rabbi gave me a copy.
60 Days, a spiritual guide to the high holidays, because I wanted to show and demonstrate from Torah sources how you make the high holidays
and every
into a personal journey.
Has beautiful... Very, 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 very nice.
And it's a story, the story of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur is, let's be honest, it's about love between God and the Jewish people. And then it was betrayed by the Chet Egel, the golden calf, the sin of the gold. And then Moshe Rabbeinu goes on the mountain to beg for forgiveness. Exactly, Yom Kippur. So, in a way, this season is the best season that teaches you about, no one has a perfect life. How do you rebuild after something was broken?
100%.
We mentioned October 7th. Something was broken. But, we Jews, we're indestructible. Something breaks, you have to build something stronger.
And we see that all the time. After the first Bet HaMikdash Holy Temple was destroyed, we had the Anshe Knesset Gedolah, the men of the Great Assembly. Then we had the second Bet HaMikdash, the second Holy Temple was destroyed. Then we had the Mishnah and the Gemara, which for Judaism, that's bread and butter.
And it's a verse in the Torah. It says in the book of Exodus, in Shmais, Kashayana Esam Kain Yifretz. The more they were afflicted,
the Holocaust.
The more they afflicted, the more they thrived. And
after the Holocaust, we have Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel.
So I'll give you a line that I don't know, I picked it up from somewhere, that the Jewish people are like a tea bag.
Tea bag.
You don't know how strong they are until you put them into hot water.
Oh, wow.
Okay, you can use it.
I like it. Rabbi Simon Jacobson, Beautiful Gems, Meaningful Life, which is the organization the rabbi has, plus the name of
meaningfullife.com is the website,
and the book Toward a Meaningful Life, like the rabbi said, which 1 million copies. 14 languages?
14 languages.
So we have a minhag, we have a
But there's still 8 billion people on this earth.
That means we haven't done much. We have to do more. Just the tip of the iceberg. Just the beginning.
Exactly.
That's our attitude at Chazaq. Amazing. Baruch Hashem, Yag the Torah. We have to do more. So we have a minhag, we have a custom, Rabbi Jacobson, which is a final message for our broad audience.
Final is a very a strong word. So I don't want to be final because I'm sure I'll do many more things with you.
On this Torah Talk episode.
Well, look, being that we're coming to Rosh Hashanah and we're a new year, and we want a real new year, not just in
another
words.
Year.
I go back to what I said earlier. I think Rosh Hashanah is the day when the human race was born. Adam and Chava. So it's the collective birthday of each one of us.
Happy birthday.
And we're created in the divine image. So I think the best message is no. I say this to you, to me, to every person on this earth. We should say it to our children. Hashem chose you, God chose you, created you in the divine image. You have a unique mission to fulfill that you and only you can do. Ask yourself, are you doing it?
Well,
are you living up to your calling? And I'm sure we could always improve.
100%.
And every one of us has something. The world today needs it more than ever. A lot of upheaval, a lot of uncertainty. There's never been such a wake-up call, especially by the Jewish people with all that's going on.
Around the world.
Yeah, exactly. And wake-up calls we have to respond to.
That's right.
These are moments, these are historical moments. And children are asking, and it's not just enough, don't kill us and don't murder us. No, we're here. We're a people of destiny that were put in this world to bring tzedek v'yosher, tzedek and mishpat, Lasa tzedakah mishpat, as Avram Avinu, right? Justice and righteousness and civility and virtue. And the fact is that that's what the Jewish people brought to this world, to the non-Jewish world as well. So we have our work. We have our work cut out for us.
Yep,
and I want to wish you and everyone a beautiful year, Shana Tova, and it's always an honor.
Amazing.
Great.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Jacobson, for those words of inspiration. Meaningful life. We should all take it upon ourselves with God's help to live a meaningful life, to learn about it, to grow, and to find out our mission, and to bring out the best of every single one of us, especially in this new year. Thank you, Rabbi, once again. We want to thank all of our various different platforms that are hosting this amazing Chazaq Torah Talks, with a special emphasis to our friends at Torah Anytime. Thank you very much. Also to Daily Giving, $1 a day goes very far away. We encourage everyone to check it out. And Baruch Hashem, towards this time of the year, even though the school year started already, Chazaq is still very busy transferring kids from public schools to yeshiva. If you have a family member, a friend, a neighbor, anybody you know, make sure you reach out to Chazaq. We'd be more than happy to help with regards to yeshiva placement and or after school programs, Sunday school programs, or teens vision programs, and continue with the feedback. Wow, the feedback's unbelievable. And this is Bez Hashem, we has a lot of amazing positive feedback. Suggestions for future guest speakers are always welcome. We should be always zochim, we should all merit to see the Geulah Shlema, the kingly redemption. It should come be Merab Rabbeinu Spiel in our days. Amen, amen.
Thank you so much.
Kayach.
Okay.